What's up, everybody? Yes, let me tell you something. France is still in uproar. These violent protests are still going on. And I want to know the best. There are actually donations made to this policeman who unalived 17-year-old Algerian French guy named M. And 70,000 people so far donated to the policemen who did this. And he already received over $1 million in funds. And the GoFundMe page is not taking it down because it doesn't go against their company policy. So yes, he actually got 4 times more than the family of Neil M, who clearly need the money more for the funeral. And I don't know where they're gonna bury the body. Usually, in many most cases, us foreigners, we like to go home and be buried in our own country, so to speak. Yes, pretty heavy, right? On a different note, Apple announced in June on the worldwide developer conference their new project, this Vision Pro mixed reality headset. When you put that on, you don't need no computer screen, no phone screen. You will just have everything in front of you. It's so hard to imagine. For someone like me, it's totally crazy to imagine. So it's going to be a mixed reality, which I assume is going to be what you need to see, and then everything obviously that's going on around you. But apparently you will see everything as big as you want right in front of you. If you want to even use Google and stuff like that, how you navigate is swiping your finger and using your eyes to navigate, I believe. And then your voice is if you want to say something. I mean, we're used to the voice thingy on YouTube, on Google, and plenty other platforms open the voice assistant thing. So we're used to that. That's okay. But yes, the release date is not announced yet. What we do know is that it will be in 2024. It will be sold in the US. Everything else, I don't know yet. I just thought I'd share it. So stay tuned for more.
Welcome to the GBA podcast, where guilty by association meets gritty, blissful ambiguity.
What's good, and welcome to another episode of the GBA podcast, Guilty by Association meets Gritty Blissful Ambiguity. I'm your host, Ness Rain, and I am here to bring to you stuff that stood out to me this week. Yes, I'm here without a guest one more time, once again. Yeah, better get used to me. So I would love for everybody to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Everything is right there in the show notes, and please check the podcast out on all streaming platforms, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a cousin and a brother and an auntie and an uncle and a grandmother. Yeah, maybe they enjoy this content, who knows. But now it's time for business, so let me get straight to it. Shout out to all the ladies who love the pedicures and manicures, especially those who are regular customers of nail salons for their gel nails or their acrylic nails or their shellac. So we do know that UV light is not the greatest. We knew it from tanning booths where people go to consume some UV light and get some color, get some tan, want to be darker. That UV light is cancerous. It causes skin aging, wrinkling, a bunch of other stuff. Actually, it also causes eye problems, immune system issues, all of it. It creates a little bit of vitamin D, but that's it. And these UV light, the ultraviolet light, is also used in nail salons, obviously, for those who live somewhere behind some big rock. They put the gel nails on, or the shellac on, or the acrylic nails on, and then your hand goes under the UV lamp for a few minutes. So It all can dry much faster and tighten much faster. So this UV light has been now discovered in some new studies to mess with your genetics, obviously cause a cancer on your hand as well. And by obviously, I mean obviously on your hand as well. There's skin. All over your hand is skin. Yes. When you go with your whole hand underneath the lamp how you're supposed to, you're jeopardizing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had to do something about my speech impediments. Anyhow, so yes, it can cause cancer. But then, of course, y'all could tell me now, oh my gosh, everything we consume and everything we do and everything is carcinogenic, is cancerous. Yes, that's very true. I can't even fight you on that. Everything around us, no matter what we do, whether it's beauty products, chemical beauty products, whether it's clothing, even by now, like shout out to all those people who are affected by some discount fast fashion clothing or fashion houses or distributors. Definitely there's a lot of people who really have some really ugly and bad experience. So yes, everything literally can cause cancer, but messing with your genetics, that's something that stood out to me. I don't like that. So, but you know what? If you don't do that too regularly, if you're not like one of those crazy ones who go every 2 weeks, I mean, you know, there's also certain things. Use sunscreen for your hands, because you see, the thing is with aging and skin aging, you see that when you look at people's hands, you see that, oh my gosh, what a wrinkly hand. So that gives away age and aging. You know, like some people, they might be like a little bit younger in the face, you know, still like fresh, and especially with all the stuff that you can utilize to maybe make it look younger. But the hands, they give it away. That's why there was a time when a certain older artist who does not want to accept her age, and we'll talk about Miss Madonna. I think she's somewhere in the hospital right now. Get well soon. But maybe it's time to accept your age. You're 64 of age. That is actually an amazing milestone, and you achieved so much. So you should be proud. But there was a time when she was wearing a lot of these gloves, you know, studded gloves, all kind of gloves. And yeah, you could say that's fashion. That's a statement. Yeah, granted, but you know, little things to hide certain other things. So yes, it messes with your genetics. And as I said, you can use sunscreen for your hands, but you can also wear fingerless gloves while your hands are under these ultraviolet light lamp in the nail salon. And I just want to say, because I thought it was interesting, so the first time UV light was used for gel nails was in 1982, but it was discovered in 1801 by a German physicist called Johann Ritter. And he was experimenting, and he discovered that paper soaked in silver chloride darkens quicker and better with UV light rather than with normal light. I guess that's the process for developing photography paper or photos. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting because I did want to know when UV light hit the game. Yeah. And let's stay right on topic. Let's stay right on this everything that humans do to look good, you know, like, I mean, we're just have this whole BBL epidemic, boobs jobs, we have fillers, we have lipo, all type of lipo, like literally everywhere. I'm surprised I never heard of somebody getting lipo on their foot or whatever. But of course, there is foot surgery. There is all type of beauty surgery. The plastic surgery industry has been booming for years and still is. Okay. So now there is a new thing for short people. I should have this Kilo song. I wish I was a little bit taller, because his wish could literally come true these days. So short people can get surgery and can get taller, so they can manipulate the height now. And a dude, shout out to Moses from Minnesota, He worked his butt off to afford this surgery. He saved up 170K working as a software engineer, and Uber. Shout out to Uber. Y'all made it possible. So he was a short dude and he was not really confident. Then he got this extremely questionable and painful procedure done, paid 170K. This surgery, they break your legs and put metal in your legs, and then they pull it to make it longer, 1 millimeter a day until you reach your preferred height. That is extremely, it just sounds extremely painful. Like, you put metal in my legs and then you're gonna stretch me and pull me in my legs so I get taller. I get it. I really get it. But you know what? You got to be ready for that kind of stuff. And definitely I'm not. I'm short and that's cool. Like, I'm 5'2" and I stay 5'2". But I understand that especially for men, it can be quite challenging because most women talk about, I want a tall guy and all that, but I just want to say shout out to the short guys. Don't worry about it. I know so many women. Like, I've always thought like all women want a tall guy, but that's actually not true. That's actually not true. Anywho, so, and after that process and procedure of this whole, okay, we're gonna keep pulling your legs and pulling your body 1 millimeter a day until you reach, like, imagine that's going to be like a whole foot or something. I don't know. It's crazy. It's like literally crazy. So then you have to relearn how to use your body again and how to walk again. That's nuts to me. Absolutely nuts. But kudos to Moses. He did it. He got himself a girlfriend. He feels more comfortable approaching women. So let's see. That's what I'm curious about. You know, like, we always see those right now effects, what happens when it's done. But you know, only time will tell if this is not going to have any repercussion or any consequences. I hope not. I wish him all the best. And I hope that he'll be healthy now, and that would hopefully be his last surgery of this kind. So yeah, good luck to you, Moses. And honestly, there are so many trends, y'all, and some trends we follow, some trends we just sit still and watch, and some trends we just really, like, I just shake my head and think, like, you can't make this ish up. This is too crazy. And one of those trends, which is actually not even a new thing, it started in 2001, and I'm talking about poppy yoga. Yo, I didn't even know it was a thing until I saw it the other day. Poppy yoga? Really? So in 2001, it started in the US, and then by 2004, it had traveled overseas and reached the UK. And by 2011, it was literally everywhere. Now, all the celebs, all your average rich guy or not so rich guy does it. Every poppy owner could be potentially part of this whole yoga movement and bring their little puppy in. Now, what we do know about puppies is that you should not separate them from their mother before they're minimum a week old. Okay, so I don't know if people do respect that, but and the next thing we know about puppies is you should not deprive them of basic things. They are like, I know I'm going to create some dislike towards me, but I'm not the biggest fan of dogs. I was bitten by a dog when I was a child. That pretty much traumatized me because that same dog went a little bit cray-cray on my friend that was with me. And after that, I don't want to get too close to dogs. And I do care about animal cruelty, though. So honestly, if these little puppies, they're like little beings, they're little babies. And what happens in these yoga studios and these yoga sessions, which might go on for hours, these little puppies try to sleep and they be constantly waking up by these people, because obviously they want these puppies to participate in that yoga session. Otherwise, it wouldn't be poppy yoga, right? So, And another basic need that these yoga studios should also consider is water. Because I saw that little tiny documentary. They didn't even have water for the dogs, y'all. And they keep waking them up. Like these little tiny beings, they just trying to get some sleep. I mean, every baby, most of the time, they're just sleeping. That's why babies in the beginning are kind of like boring because they sleep. Why would puppies, why would dogs be different, y'all? I just don't understand. Like the organizers claim this is the perfect way for a dog to learn how to feel and how to think. Really? Really? Okay. And experts say it should be done gradually, not by force, but by choice. Well, the little puppy can't even know if it wants to do it. And clearly, most of the time, they just want to sleep. So I just think some trends definitely go too far. Leave the puppies alone. They can speak for themselves. So, this whole, it's just nuts, like the world is going mad. And when I hear these kind of things, I'm just like, do people really, did they get the memo? Like, do we really need that? What is it doing? But yes, I forgot almost. Dogs are supposed to learn how to feel and how to think. Yeah, I forgot. My bad. My bad. Now, cat. I don't know if y'all heard of cat. The plant cat that grows on the Horn of Africa. It's a cat that's been consumed by people. It's very famous amongst the Somali community, apparently. And the Netherlands banned cat now. In the US, it's illegal. In Canada, it's illegal. And a lot of other countries, it's illegal too. But it's not illegal as of yet in the UK. It's under scrutiny right now, and they're going to make a decision whether they're going to ban it or not. But 3,000 tons of cat come through from Nairobi, Kenya to London, because that is actually the biggest place where they from London they distribute cat worldwide. That's like, the place of distribution for cat. So how you consume it is you chew on the leaves, and it's apparently makes you more productive. It makes you more active, less tired. These are the benefits that the people who use cat claim to have. But then obviously that sounds all amazing. Why would it be banned? It would be banned because they say it also causes family breakdowns. It causes a lot of mental issues. And when I looked it up, it doesn't pose any dependency threats, and the withdrawal symptoms are light to none. So this is really interesting. I'm really curious to see what the UK is going to do there. I would love to know more about cat because, gosh, it's a plant. It doesn't pose real dependency threats. So yeah, I'd like to know, what does it really mess with people mental? Is it like, what's going on? I need some more info about cat. I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning I was like, okay, where are they going with this? But I mean, of course I do understand. If it definitely causes any type of harm, get it out of here. If it actually more helping people, maybe. But who knows? Who knows? I'm not the judge of this, thankfully. And it's just really interesting to me when you think, okay, this is a plant that doesn't, make you addicted. But we're gonna legalize weed, but we're gonna ban the plant. I don't know. And I don't have to know, but I would like to know. So if anybody knows, hit me up, teach me. I'm here to learn. It's absolutely crazy. Another thing, on another note, on a whole different note. So I consumed the Breakfast Club, and I love the Breakfast Club. And they had this topic of, can a woman compliment a man without it meaning that there is more interest? And this kind of like triggered a conversation with me, myself, and I again, because I felt like it's so crazy. Like, all in all, like, doesn't matter, man to woman, woman to man, everybody giving anybody a compliment is not a conversation starter. It could spark a conversation, yes, and it could go somewhere, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't mean that it will. I could just like receive a compliment and keep it pushing. Like, okay, thank you very much. Have a blessed day. That's it. You know, sometimes a compliment is just a compliment. Sometimes a person might just like the way you wear your hair or your sneakers, how they were talking on the Breakfast Club, your bag. Like, I had so many people come up to me, men and female, and tell me, you have a nice dress, or your outfit looks amazing, or whatever, you know. Even strangers, like, i don't I don't think beyond is just a compliment, you know. And I feel like people should give compliments to each other, and these kind of things, like, oh, but I don't know if they're going to misunderstand, and if they're going to think I'm interested. I feel like it's a shame that we have that, because, you know, I think everybody needs to hear something positive about themselves, and some days even more than other days. So with making people feel insecure if they should say or not say something because it could be misunderstood, to me is crazy, because we're the same people that always discuss about oh you know, when a girl says no to a guy, then it's a no, you know. So it's just a conversation. Just because I talk to you, it doesn't mean now that we have to exchange numbers. Or just because we exchange numbers, that doesn't mean I have to meet you. Maybe we texted and I don't like you. I don't like what you got to say, you know. Or just because we exchange numbers and I met you, doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to be in a relationship, or we're going to have any type of, you know, relationship, even physical relationship happening. And I feel like it's the same thing. It's a compliment, for God's sake. It's nothing too serious. I can compliment people, like, I don't know if it's whether it's a stranger or even people, you know. I was at my friend the other day, and there were a lot of other people, and there was a married man, and he told me, "Oh, you look beautiful today." I would never even think, "Oh my God, look what you said to me." Oh my, who cares? Like, literally, it's a compliment. It's a feel good thing. Okay. So I feel like I made it actually a habit from a long time ago. Every day I compliment someone about something, because I realize sometimes we're so lost and we're so caught up in our own, you know, difficult situations in life. And I feel like saying something nice to someone makes them feel good, even if it's just like for a minute. And you never know, you could make somebody stay with it. So stop this whole weird thinking. It's nothing. A compliment is a compliment, period. Okay. Stop finding all these different 10 million reasons and oh, and this and that. Like, stop. Just stop. It's not that hard to just stop. Oh yes, my random fact. How did I forget? My random fact is great. It's literally crazy this week. So here goes the random fact for this episode. Alexander the Great. Most of y'all heard that name somewhere. If y'all don't know who he is, Google him. He was huge. Okay. He built one of the biggest Asian empires, right? He was the Macedon king, but he also conquered Egypt, the Mediterranean, parts of the Middle East, parts of Asia. Like, literally, he was the king of Macedonia. Check out the map. Okay. If you're not good in geography, check out the map. Look where Macedonia is. Look where Egypt is. Look where the Middle East is, the Persia. He was the king of Persia as well. So he was accidentally buried alive, y'all, in 323 BC. So after a night of excessive drinking, 12 pints of wine, they said, y'all, he complained the next morning about abdominal pain. He complained about fatigue. He complained about high temperature and all of that. 8 days later, he could only flicker his eye and twitch his hands. 11 days later, they pronounced him dead. Okay, they say he was dead. But now, New Zealand scientists figured out, allegedly, that he had a neurological disease called, oh my gosh, hold on. Bear with me. What is it called? FBS? MBS? Are you serious? Okay, some neurological disease he had, which paralyzed him. So he couldn't speak. He couldn't move at all, and he could barely breathe because that neurological disease, which is caused by a bacteria in the stomach, by the way, and is still hitting 1 in 100,000 people in the US and in the UK. So that also paralyzed his respiratory muscles. So the breathing got shorter and shorter, and then it was so tiny that they didn't even detect it. And back then, people didn't check the pulse. Not even people, doctors didn't check the pulse for a sign of, death or being alive. They actually looked for breathing signs. And since the breathing declined so much, they didn't detect any of the very tiny breaths that he was taking. But the crazy part is, this disease does not affect your brain. So he was fully there, like he witnessed everything. He just couldn't do nothing about it. And when they buried him, like, his staff, his soldiers, his maids, his assistants, and whatever else he had, when they buried him, he literally couldn't do nothing about it. And then Greek scholars wrote, days after his death, his body didn't decompose, and that's why they believed that he was a real god, because he was so powerful. He was defeated by Porus at some point, but nevertheless, he still conquered all of these places, and he was a huge king. But it's such a crazy, random historical fact. I just thought I'd share it with you. And that's that for me. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have fun with the very chaotic me. I promise I get better. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, who knows? But just make sure to subscribe, to like, to share, to comment, hit me up on the social media platforms, and also make sure to listen to this on all streaming platforms. Well, literally everywhere. So this is the place to be. GBA, Guilty by Association, meets Greedy Blissful Ambiguity. And I will say peace out, and see you in the next one.